He arrived in Katwe under the sports outreach program, and he came with a football. His mission was simple: to coach. But sometimes circumstances force a change of plans, and that change creates a legacy. When the football didn't work out, Coach Robert Katende introduced the children to chess. It wasn't just a game, it became their lifeline. From that humble beginning emerged Phiona Mutesi, not just a national icon, but a global inspiration. A girl who went from the dirt floors of Katwe to competing on the world stage, whose story touched the hearts of millions through film, and whose very existence proves that greatness has no postal code. She's a champion, a pioneer, and a living proof that where you start does not determine where you finish. We are sitting down with the architect of that journey to discuss his personal path, the philosophy that drives the Som Chess Academy, and the ripple effect this work continues to have on a community. Here is the remarkable Coach Robert Katende. Welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to be speaking with the shining knight in the community of Katwe. This gentleman has transformed lives of children in this community using an unexpected tool, chess. Welcome, Coach Robert.
Thank you, Madam Jackie, for having me.
Could you briefly tell us about your background, how it was for you growing up, the games you played, and how you really centered onto this game, chess?
Yeah, thank you so very much for coming and for us to have this dialogue. My name is Robert Katende, commonly known as Coach Robert. My background, I really don't know where to start from, but I grew up as an orphan, if I can term it that way, with my grandmom, but she was illiterate, although very, very intelligent. And she realized that I needed to at least have an opportunity for school. So that's when she reached out to my mom so that she can hand me over for school opportunities. So I started from Nakulabye, slums. That's where my mom was also struggling to make ends meet from. So I joined her, and it wasn't easy life. We struggled, but that's where I started my schooling from. Yeah, I grew up struggling from Nakulabye, Chiaye zone to Chiwunya.
Those areas, I know those areas.
Yes, so we would get evicted from Chiaye, we cross over to Chiwunya, then after some few months we go back to Chiaye looking for a different other place to stay, and for almost like 2 years, and that's when my mom passed on. She succumbed to breast cancer. That was in the early 90s. That's how my background started. I ended up, after the burial, being taken by another auntie. So I grew up moving from one auntie to another auntie. So it was a life of survival, generally. Yeah, until through sports, I was able to get to college.
What games did you play in sports?
Actually, growing up, I discovered that I was so talented in soccer. And I was a big soccer player. Although I could not afford soccer cleats, so I was playing barefoot. And right from my primary, I remember in my P5, we used to play during school breaks and lunchtime, and you could express yourself well on the soccer field. I had not even known no school teams and what until when I think the games teacher came and called me from P5 and said, you were needed to the school team. You remember I was meant to be in P4, but now I'm going in a school team where P7s are playing from, and by then we had junior and the intermediary. So I enrolled in there for the first time. In fact, I remember the first time I refused to go because I felt like I don't belong there. And then for them, they could see me on the soccer field and they said, this guy is so talented, he needs to be on the school team.
Yeah.
So when I refused to go, the teacher came for me in class, and actually I remember I was given 2 canes for not attending to the call. I felt bad because I was wondering, how do you beat me when I'm for playing? If I want, I can play. If I don't want, I shouldn't. Yeah. But anyway, that's how I joined the school team at P5 level, and I started playing until I joined even university, rather secondary school I went to Lubiri SS. Senior 1, Senior 2, playing with bare feet. Actually, I could really express myself very well on the soccer field. I got nicknames like Spoon. Spoon? Spoon. Spoon. Yeah. Simply because I would flip the ball over the opponent. So the guy, the way he uses his foot is like a spoon. He just scoops the ball, and so I could really express myself very well. I remember I was even invited to join the secondary school team when I was in Senior 2. And that's actually the same year I was invited to join the national junior team. To go in the camp. I was summoned to go, and unfortunately I couldn't because I was staying with my mom. I had to go work in the garden every weekend and every holiday. So I could not really embrace the opportunity to join the national junior team. Yeah. But soccer was a big deal for me. And all the way through my secondary, actually it sustained me in the A level. It was because of soccer that I was able to attend A level. Then even after my enrollment at the government scholarship in Chambogo, after my senior 6, I got my training in civil engineering. Then for my second degree at Kampala University, it was still as a bursary with soccer. Still soccer. Yeah.
So now, Coach Robert, our main theme today is how you are now using chess to transform lives. When does chess come into play? For you, when do you learn chess? Chess comes in. You begin to dream it's going to be a game changer for children here.
Yeah, chess comes in. I don't know the way God does things, but chess comes in when I was in Senior 2 at Lubiri SS. I was so much known for soccer, and I was also one of the best performers in my class. Yeah. So I was so good in maths, and I think most teachers were proud of me. And I even got nicknames from my fellow students, like a brainy, academic giant, because of math, physics. I was really doing so well in science. I was scoring highly. And one time I was at Lubiri, actually, we were at the art room, and then I found students playing chess. So I looked at it. I was good at checkers, what we call draft. So I looked at it and said, what kind of game is this? Because at first I was intrigued thinking it was draft, but it wasn't. Then I looked at the pieces, they were a little unique. Then I asked them, what kind of game is this? That's when one of them bashed me off. Robert, you can play your soccer. This is a game of play physical games. This is a game of clever people. Game of intellectuals only. Exactly. That really hit me hard. I looked at him and said, what? This is a game of intellectuals. Now, I had gained serious confidence because of the nicknames, and I really was... At the field? Yeah, no, even in class. So I was regarding myself as one of the intellectuals in the school. In fact, I was even appointed one of the counselors. So then I looked at this guy calling me, go to play that soccer game. Yeah, it's a game of clever people. So my whole motivation was to disprove him that I can play soccer, but I can also play this game of the clever people. So all I did, I would just look on, because I knew I would look at it, see how they do it, and then get it.
So let's take it from here. You were motivated to get interested in chess and even become a winner in chess just because of what that student did to you.
Yes, actually, my motivation wasn't even to be a winner, but it was like I needed to prove that I can play this game of the clever people. To prove them wrong, because they had bashed me off. In fact, I remember The first time I looked at it, I said, okay, fine. So I took some minutes because I was so much embedded in soccer. I took some minutes, watched it, then left. But I saw what they did. So I said, okay, from here, that piece goes there. Okay. So I knew I would get it. Then the following day when I came, I was still looking. Because we could do it in the evening after classes. Yeah. Then this time we moved the night to a different square. And yet I had recorded that the night from where it's supposed to be, it goes to a certain square where he played it. So that's when I intervened. I said, that's wrong. That piece, yesterday you played it in the square. Then he said, Robert, we told you. This is a game of intellectuals.
Where are your brains?
So I asked them, okay, first tell me, wait a minute, why is it that yesterday you played there and now you're playing here? So that's when I got into the details.
Yeah.
So I really had to get into it. It's not so much that I needed it so much, but just to prove that I can also play the game of clever people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't so serious because I was taking trophies and medals through soccer. And chess was by the way. I would only play it in the evenings when I get some time. For almost the whole of my O level, I was playing it. Then my A level, I had a chess board. So I was playing at the school, but not competitively. Just as a game, like we used to play draft. It's not like a competitive game. I didn't have so much. But after my enrollment at Chambogo University, that's when I found the chess to be a big deal at the university. To prove that you are an engineer in the making, you had to know how to play chess. So most people struggle to learn how to. I say, I already know how to do these things. So I just had to dive in. That's when I became serious at the game because it was a big deal there. We had the competitions. We threw chess, which we never did so much in O level and A level. And then that's when I started to play, even represent my faculty. But still soccer was a big deal because by then I had a license playing for club soccer. I played
Which clubs did you play for?
I played for Miracle football team. I played for Top TV. We are the people who actually enabled Top TV to get into Super Division. Yeah, in the early 2000s. So I was so much in soccer basically, and chess was just like one of the games I had on my list. I was doing field track, I was doing short relay, 100-meter race, high jump, long jump. I was a sports-oriented individual.
Really an all-rounder in sports.
Yes.
And look at how you use what you called by the way then.
Yeah, by then actually I truly got to know that with God nothing just happens because I never knew. Even when I came to the slums, I didn't come with chess, I came with soccer. Yes, because before even I left university, I joined the Miracle Football Club. That's a soccer team that had been started by Pastor Kayanja. So what happened when I was at Chambogo University, I had a friend of mine who was working with Pep's company, and we had a soccer team at the village in Mukono. By then I was staying with my aunt in Mukono at Seta. And this guy started the Pep's team. So they spotted me because we were on the same village. He said, Robert, I need you to be part of my team. I want to start a company team. I said, fine. So he started outsourcing players. Some of the players he got were from Lubaga in Miracle team. So when they saw me, they were wondering, where is this guy coming from? We need him to get to our club. And by then I had never played for any club. So that's when they took my passport photos and processed for me a license, and I would only come for matches in Lubaga, playing for Miracle football team. So that's how it all started. And then it was during I think 2001 when our coach was given a project by Pastor Senyonga to promote Top TV team into Super Division. So coach told me, Robert, we don't have enough funds and the pastor is going to pay some few players, but I would like you to come and join my team so that we can see if we can take this team to Super Division. So I joined. So that's how everything, but I already had chess with me. I graduated from Chambogo, I had a chess board. So through that coach, I started to volunteer with the sports outreach, but basically for soccer. And until when we promoted Top TV into Super Division, my coach Aloysius Chazi told me, Robert, I wouldn't love you to join Super Division. I want you to stay because Sports Outreach is going to start a good news soccer team.
Yeah.
And you are the right candidate to start playing for that team because it was a Christian soccer team. Yeah. Basically to play community ministry soccer games. Yeah. So I respected him so highly. I wanted to go to the squad division, but because of his advice, I said, okay, fine, I'll hang around. So that's how everything started now. Then I was deployed in Katwe to teach soccer. And I started with soccer.
There. You were brought to Katwe to teach soccer.
Yeah.
I just want to cut you short at this moment. Then we get to that main gist. Now that we are talking about Katwe. So you get into Katwe. You are a champion in football. I should say. You are a champion in football. And then you have children in this community whose lives need to be transformed. And then you are thinking, you are thinking between chess and football. Because football comes more naturally to children in the slums. Yeah. If I came to the slums, I would come with a ball. It's more natural for me.
That's what actually I did.
And it creates even more smiles, energy. Sure. You know. Why did you choose chess? Because you had both. You had football, you had chess as a by the way, but you chose chess. Why did you choose chess for this to change the lives of these children in the slum?
Yeah, actually, I'll say, like you put it rightly, that soccer comes so natural when it comes to these environments, and it's, I think, one of the famous sports in the country, not even, but Africa at large. And I came with soccer, but I realized when we played soccer, I had personally benefited from playing chess. I had seen the benefits of chess.
But you had also benefited from football.
But at the same time, soccer also exactly, yes.
Further in your education.
So what happened is, why I switched to soccer, number one, it was in the slums, where we do not have space for soccer. So we are so limited in that regard. Even the soccer space we were using was just a dump pit down there in the slums. In fact, right now it has even evolved a little bit because I've put more structures there. So that's the small space we are using. And secondly, I also noticed after almost like 1 year of soccer training, there were kids who used to come to the program, be part of us, we fellowship, we are together, but they were not in soccer. And it wasn't even, at the time, it was not a girls' sport. Soccer was believed to be a boys' game. So no girl would play at that time.
Then?
Yeah. So that's why
That's around which year?
That was 2001.
Okay.
Yeah, early 2000. So, in fact, to play soccer as a girl, by then you were like, that's weird. Everyone would look at you with a different eye. So, but when I brought in chess, why I brought in chess, number one, I wanted to see, you know, when I came back to Katwe, it was like reconnecting me to my background because of the slums I grew up from, Nakulabye. So I was asking myself, how can I really engage these other kids who are not part of the soccer? Because I had built a very good rapport with the kids who were involved in soccer. We could play together, we could engage, we could discuss and talk about life. And my whole core was, how can I help these kids to escape from this space? And I knew what I had gone through. Sometimes I even
to escape from the space, or to get better, to get better,
exactly. Because when you better yourself, most of the people who stay in the slum, they are there by circumstance. It's not that that's their preference, but it's the situation that dictates otherwise. So I was asking myself, if I can better their lives, if I can enable them to see things differently, possibly they can be able to walk the journey I walked, because I was once there. So that's how I introduced chess, so that they do not make wrong decisions as they progress through, to help them to see a life beyond the slum setting. Because even me, sports enabled me to do that.
Yeah.
And the death of my mom also kind of cut me off, because when I went to my aunt in Namasuba, that's how I got out of the slums. And then I reached at her home, things were totally different. I saw things I had never seen. I saw even food I had never tasted. I said, wow. This, I remember the first time I went to, my aunt took me to Namasuba, I was in P5. They served me my first meal. And the sauce, I think they had prepared beef and they had put in some carrots in the beef. And I was wondering, what are these things in the beef? I had to sort them out because I didn't know what carrots were. So that's the kind of background I came from. So I was asking myself, how can I be a chest for these kids to lean against and be able to journey this life of the slums and break out of the slum life? So that was my biggest driving factor. And why did it come that way? I really struggled so much. As much as I managed to break through all the way to go to college, but it wasn't easy. And many times I would ask myself, God, will I ever be able to make it? Will I ever be able to graduate? And I committed my life. I said, God, if you enable me go through and make it, I want to be that person who can enable others do that.
Through this journey, when you're with these children starting the chess, did you have some money to buy the chessboard? What did you come with? Did you come with some little money? Did you come with just a chessboard?
I remember
the
first day I came with a soccer ball. It was red in color and they were provided to me by Coach Aloysius. But after university, I had my personal chessboard, which I had kept for almost like 2 years, a year plus. So because I had no one to play with anyway, but I had it. So when I thought of the idea, I think I need to engage these kids through chess. So I battled with the idea for almost like 2 weeks. But one day I told them, I'm going to introduce you to a new game. They said, what game? They didn't know. So that's how I came. I got my chessboard, put it in my backpack, and then I came. And I remember even the first day we laid it on the ground, bare ground. And then almost 20 kids all came just wondering what it was. And over a few weeks, the number stabilized to 6 out of 20.
Wow.
So those 6 are the ones I referred to as the pioneers. Yeah.
Coach Robert, I still think of you, even somebody out there, that chess is really a complex game for a child in the slum. How and what made you feel that they would succeed in this game? Remember, if I get back to what you said earlier, your first time playing chess with the big boys, they pushed you out saying this is an intellectual game, go back to your
soccer,
to your football. So that also brings me back to thinking it is complex, and especially for children that are disadvantaged.
I think
what made you think that these children would succeed and eventually break through, better their lives?
You could be right that it's complex, but I think for sure people think it's complex. Maybe it is to a certain extent.
Maybe it's a mindset.
To all people, it seems to be complex, but there are some factors that makes it complex. So one thing I learned, I'm a good teacher. I've been teaching almost all my lifetime because whenever I get to learn something new, I made sure that I teach it to my peers. Let it be soccer, I would teach others how to even control the ball, like whatever skill I could acquire, I made sure that I pass it on. So when I learned how to play chess, I actually even almost self-taught myself to go deeper. Then I had to figure out on how best to introduce to the new people and especially to the kids. Number one was to ensure that I contextualize the game to what they already know. So when I remember the first days when I was introducing chess to them, there are things I had to dwell with. For instance, we talk about a queen. I could call it a mother because they easily connect with the mothers. Being in the slum setting, they know how their mothers struggle, how they toil to make ends meet. You never get to see the fathers. But the mothers are moving up and down. That's why the queen on the chessboard moves in all these so many lines. So it could easily correlate to what they understand. I remember for a night, I called it a goat. I could either call it a goat or a dog. But I prefer the goat because...
goats? Goats?
Yeah, because those young goats, you know how they move on aunties, they jump up and down. So like it would really resonate with what they totally understand. Then I remember when I was introducing the king, later on, someone neutralized my concepts because by then I had never seen a king doing any running. They are always diplomats, they walk gently as loyals. So they are royal kings, so they move like with their dignity. So that's how the king in the chess also moves, one move at a time, just one step, one square. But later on, I got to see, I think almost 10 years later, the Kabaka king. In fact, I could call it Kabaka, not even a king. I called it Kabaka because that's what we understand easily here. So I made sure that I would contextualize the concepts into what they easily understand. To make it easy for them to utilize, and then also ensure that I put in so many life lessons that they could get to see chess not on the chessboard, but in their day-to-day life situations. Like you ask them, okay, if you are going to move, you are moving maybe from one point to the other point. Do you just go? Of course, no. Because the slum wasn't as safe as it is now. So you need to know, where do I pass? Are there guns or not? Will it be safe? What time of the day? Well, how about the other trench? Will I be able to go over it? So there are so many things to figure out. So they would really see this day-to-day life navigation on a chessboard. So it became a tool to equip them in their day-to-day life so that they can be able to maneuver their day-to-day life situations better. So it became a handy tool than just a mere game. It's all about thinking. So chess helped me to, number one, instill confidence in these learners. We had so much to learn in the early days, so much to learn, because you are in the slums, they are not knowing anything. Then we got an opportunity, I think a few years later, now to travel, to go to hotels. None of them had ever used as a flushing toilet. Those are things we could not just take for granted. So we could go, hey guys, no one knows where we are coming from, but we are here. We are now find ourselves at Hotel Africana. Then I would have to go with them in the toilets, teach them how the flushing toilets work, teach them how things, because number one, we needed to protect ourselves so that we do not get to be chased out of the event by either vandalizing things or figuring out, and also make ourselves comfortable and feel in the space. But it wasn't very easy. So every time there was a lot of lessons and trying to speak to their lives and making them build that inner confidence that they can be able to feel like they belong. It took a lot what people might even ever think, because it is more of teaching life than the actual chess itself.
Awesome. You're already changing the narrative for me. I hope someone out there is also, because you've made it even much simpler. I think even at the end of this session, we are going to play together.
Everyone can play chess, by the way. In fact, many times you ask me, Robert, how are you able to teach a 4-year, 5-year-old chess? It is simple. You break it down to what they can manage, and they are able to move on.
So now we are sitting in this beautiful structure that holds Som Chess Academy, a project of Queen of Katwe. But this is not where you started. I understand you started somewhere deep in the slums. You tell us about that slum. It wasn't really a palatable space. How do we then transform from that space in the slum to this beautiful structure? And how does this grow as well? How does this project grow?
Yeah, this place actually comes in the picture, I think I would say almost 15 years later. Yeah, when we had already started. We started from the slums with only one chessboard, and I remember we had to improvise with bottle tops.
So from the slums, it was what year?
That was 2004.
And this starts in...
This starts in 2017.
2017, okay.
13 years later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it grow?
It's been an evolving story or journey. So we started without anything, just having a chessboard with us on the ground. Then chess is an indoor game. So good enough, we could not be always in the open, so we ended up going to the verandas in the slums. I remember we used one of the children was called Mayanja Samuel, so we could use his grandmom's veranda. Yeah. And then later on we moved to deeper down to Pastor John Michael Mugerwa and Eva. Yeah. So they had a space for the church office. Okay. So they had a big corridor. So I asked them for that space, and then we could use that corridor. Wow. So that's how it kept on evolving. But because of the church programs, we ended up moving to Pastor Wembare's church near Skodoluzira Namwandu in still, I think that is Juko zone. So we're using that space. And then 2012, that is almost 8 years later, we started renting rooms because the number did a little bit grow. So that's when we started renting space in the Washwa zone. So we are renting 4 rooms and we are using those. Then when the movie came up, the movie project.
How did it even come up?
The whole journey for the movie started in 2009. So we used to have our kids qualify to go to represent the country, but we couldn't afford. So those who had the money could go. But in 2009, something miraculous happened that they were already topping the play for all the juniors in the country. And then we ended up having a tournament that was fully sponsored by UN to go to Sudan. Wow. So that was the game changer. So the Uganda Chess Federation knew that if they were to send a competent team, these kids were the best. So all the 3 kids to represent Uganda came from Katwe. That is Phiona Mutesi, Mukumbya Benjamin, and Ivan Mutesasira. So the 3, there was supposed to be 2 boys and 1 girl. So they all went to represent Uganda for the first time.
Where was the tournament?
In Juba, in South Sudan. So that was their first time to go out of the country, to fly out, and it was really big. So when they came, for me it was already a gold medal no matter how they would perform anyway. So I was already excited. But going there and then emerging champions was beyond what you could ever imagine. So that's what I think gave rise to everything. Because before they went, I had to process for them passports and I didn't have the money. So I reached out to some of my friends and I wrote to even Sports Out. I say, can you guys get me some money? I need to process some passports for these kids. And then they also didn't have the money, but they also reached out to their supporters. So one of the supporters was able to give $50 and then others gave 10, 5, and I was able to raise the money I needed to process for them passports. So when they came back, I was so excited. So I wrote to appreciate whoever had really supported us to enable them acquire the passport. So that's how now the whole story comes out. And then this report was like, these kids, they did not only participate, they didn't only represent the country, but they emerged champions. Wow. So that's how now that story ended up into the hands of a journalist. That was small report. Wow. A journalist who used to write for ESPN magazine. So he was wondering how much of it was true. So in fact it was just God how everything evolved, because the guy who received the report is the guy who supported. So when he received the report, that evening he was going for a book signing because that writer had written a book. So when he read the report, He was like, Slum Kids?
Not possible.
Tournament?
Not possible.
And champions?
Lie.
It's like, okay,
It's a lie.
yeah, maybe it's just a hype. How can this be true? Then we remembered he was going to a senior sports writer. So he remembered the report. He went and picked it out from his office trash and said, oh, I read about this. Maybe this guy would be interested to find out how much of this is true.
Yeah.
So that's how the guy gets to know. So the guy also reaches out. And
that's
then,
the journalist, right?
Yeah, the journalist reaches out, and then before I realized, I received a call from US. I got a report here. They referred me to you about these kids who went to play in the championship and won. How much of this is true? All is true. Yeah, so all is true. So really, yeah. So that's how he ended up coming to check how much of it was true.
Yeah.
So we end up having an article in the ESPN magazine.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yeah. So that's how everything started to evolve. Then that was 2009. 2010, Phiona qualified to represent Uganda in Russia.
Oh, wow.
On the women's team at the age of 14. So this journalist, because we were already now in communication, and he was writing that article, so I reached out to him and said, hey, she has even one of them has qualified.
Yeah.
So really? So this guy was so intrigued, he said, okay, let me come over, Robert. So he came, he picked and did it, but before he released the article, he said, if this girl is going to Russia, I think to make my write-up more strong, I need to travel with you guys to Russia to see how that goes.
How she performs.
Yeah, how she performs there. And then we end up going with him. 2 weeks we were in Russia. So when he came back, he released that article. And then the article was actually 9 pages in ESPN magazine. 9 pages? Yes. That I think even applies the record holder.
Wow.
Because he told us that before there was Tiger Woods' article, which was 7 pages. That was 9.
You broke the records.
Yes, so that's how everything started. And how does
people struggle just for a small paragraph?
Exactly.
To appear.
It was big. And because he really did some interviews here, then he went all the way to Russia and he interviewed even the people she played against, and so there was a lot to really cover, and he couldn't put it in. Actually, he even told me before he released the article, he said, Robert, what I have experienced is more than an article. Let me see if I can come up with a book eventually. So he ended up, when he released the article, then he ended up coming back for 3 months interviewing so many people to write Queen of Katwe book. But the connecting bit of it all is that ESPN is owned by Disney. So Disney gets to read the article in their magazine.
That was the block.
So that is the connecting piece there. So they said, maybe we can do some animations in this story. So the discussion is started. So from 2010 to 2015, when the movie was eventually shot, 5 years, we're in discussions.
And
so after we good enough, but Disney had never done a story like that. They have always been known for making up stories, and so this time it was like, how can we keep this as authentic as possible? And two, we need to make it a motion picture, not just animations as we do cartoons and what have you. So that's what actually compelled them to come up with the idea of shooting it on location.
So here
it was shot from Katwe here. So then after the whole project was done, they gave me a one-time grant. So I was thinking deep, how can I use this little money I've gotten? It wasn't enough to acquire whatever we need to acquire. I had to do some capital campaigns to raise more money. And my idea was, since the movie is to come out, people will come after us. They will see the movie, and they will ask, where is the Katwe? Where was the movie? So that kind of pushed me to say, no, I need to work so hard to get a permanent presence in this community.
Awesome.
I would have gotten anywhere else, but I preferred in here, in Katwe. So it was hard. Even with the place we were renting, we got evicted because they did some filming from there. So people thought we got a lot of money. They increased the prices for the rates for the hour rent, which we couldn't afford. So it was a struggle. But then in 2017, 2 years later, I was able to acquire this property.
Wow.
Putting together the grant from Disney. I also gotten some additions from Paul Allen, because they had invited me before he passed on in his office. And then I also raised some more additions. Then I was able to acquire the property where we are right now. Working with Movement Mortgage. He gave me $10,000 and I used it to put the fencing to ensure that the children are a little safe, because this community, it was dominated by some serious activities at night. If you know the whole environment, exactly. We don't live in the slum, but if you know this place very well, yes, it is all tough at night. There are people working, coming in here,
and you want to.
It was horrible. I said, no, I needed shield. Even up now, if you get up to this level, you can see what's going on in the neighborhood. So I had to kind of protect the space for the learners and ensure that they're a little bit safe. And then we renovated the old structure which was there. And at least I knew that we now had a place where we could call home, where we needed not to struggle to pay rent on a monthly basis. So we only made a simple facelift of the old structure which was there. And it served us for almost like 5 years. Until 2021. When one family which had helped me earlier on to support some of the kids asked me and said, I wanted to see if I can have a way to maximize the space for our programs. So they told me, Robert, your vision is so big, but we cannot afford to support it, but we'll contribute to it. So they really contributed, and when they contributed, 2019, 2020, COVID hit us heavily. So at the end of 2021, it was in November, I had some little money which had accumulated, almost close to $100,000. So that's when I said, I think if I do not get started, this money will end up losing value. And then we are always encroaching on it to meet all the operations. So I said, let me get the foundation started. So that's how I made that step of faith without knowing what will happen. But gradually, we kept on raising more funds. I could go for speaking engagements, raise more money, and try to see how we can get this space put up. And then last year, 2025, we had the Uganda Chess Federation bringing the National Chess League here in the slums.
Wow.
From July to November. And we have actually had almost 3 other tournaments played from here, which is for me a turnaround. Because before they could even not allow us to participate in the tournaments because we are from the slums. Now they come
coming to the slums
to host their tournaments.
Good things happen in the slums. Good things really happen.
It's a training ground. If it depends on how you prepare your mindset.
Now, Coach, one of the most powerful stories in this project is that of Phiona Mutesi. Can you take us a little bit back when she joined the program, her growing up? I don't know, maybe she joined you at what age? How was she even different from the rest? I believe there were some other girls on program with her. Just tell us a little bit about her and how she rose from local tournaments to national to even international, and where she ended up in the Disney movie and where she is now. Briefly.
Actually, Phiona joined the program when she was around 9 years. I believe she's making 30 years in March. So now at 9 years when she came to the program, I remember by then we were still at the Pastor Rembare's space in Juko zone, and she came just like any other child, and nothing special. And when I saw her, I remember my first time was just to invite her. I didn't even know that she had a brother within the program.
Oh.
Yeah, but I just invited her, just like I would invite any other girl. Hey, because we are serving porridge, I said, would you like to have some porridge? She said, yeah. So that's how she came in. But I remember on the first day, she ended up fighting with some of the kids who were in the program.
Fighting?
Yeah. They were trying to, I think, to tease her.
We love you.
Yeah. They tried to tease her, and you know, the life in the slums, the life of survival.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying we love you, strong girl.
Yeah. So I think at first she thought that I would be hard on her, but I deep inside in my spirit something was saying, a new girl being able to stand this and even face off, not bothering of the consequences. She could easily be beaten, but she chose to. I said, what a brave girl she might be. I didn't know that she would ever be, but I just said, okay, these are this, because many of them could fight each other, and that was my work. Talk to them how they need to conduct themselves, how they need to learn self-control, how they need not to pickpocket. So like it was like a day-to-day work to manage them. So I spoke to her. I said, I know this guy is doing this, this boy did this. I said, fine. Then that's how I had, I think, around 4 or 5 girls in the program at the time. It was dominated by boys. So deep inside I was asking myself, how can I make her feel comfortable in the program? So I attached her to a fellow girl who had been in the program for some time, and she was, I think, like 5 years. Gloria. I told Gloria, can you help teach Phiona what you already know? So that's how everything started. I had nothing like I would maybe something special.
And is Gloria somewhere? Because now she's the one who you were attached to Phiona, meaning that she was much better.
She was a little better because she had been in the program, and she was younger, by the way, almost like 4 years younger.
Wow.
Yeah, but she had known how the pieces move. She had known the names, and this is a new one. So, and that is always my teaching methodology. If you learn something, you teach it to another person.
Good
you
one.
learn something,
Effect.
you teach it to another. So that's how it works.
And
so I told Gloria, can you teach her what you already know? So she would, this is a queen, this is because like they feel more connected peer to peer and learn from them. So I just come, give some little instructions, and then they learn from each other. So that's how it all started. And then Phiona ended up improving so steadily. Little did I know that she used to come back because we were serving food.
Oh dear.
That was the most, and actually to most of the kids it was the most intriguing factor. That's what kept on bringing them. In fact, I remember one time I had to push the food service because some of them could come, eat, and then run off after eating. So I said, okay, now if you come, we have to do chess first, then we eat at the end. So they could hang around. So the chess interest came later. But basically it was the food which was more attractive for them. And then she really improved, started challenging some of the fellows she even found in the program. So by the time we got an invitation in 2005 to go to Wudo, Phiona had joined the program. Yeah, so we went and played in Wudo as well for the first time. That was actually our first tournament. Yeah. And then she ended up really rising up in the ranks. 2009 she had dominated the Uganda juniors chess, taking all the trophies 3 consecutive years as a champion. Then 2009, that's when she represented Uganda. Then 2010, she qualified to go to the Olympiad.
Wow.
So she kept on rising. 2012.
How did she perform in the Olympics?
Olympiad, it is a team event, but she lost the first game. And then I think she was able to get either 3 points out of 7. Then 2012, as we were preparing for another Olympiad, I made something unusual. I wanted her to train harder. So I told her that she was going to play in the national juniors, but this time she was not going to play for the girls category. She was going to play in the boys category.
Wow.
And that had never happened in Uganda. In fact, I remember even the organizers refused me at first the idea. I told them, no, I don't want her to win. She's not going to go there and win, but she needs to get there. Because we can allow girls to play with the boys, but boys may not come to play in the girls category.
Yeah.
So that's when actually we forced even the organizers to change from boys and girls to open and girls, because now Phiona was in there. But because they had already organized, the trophy was the champion for boys. She went there, challenged everyone. She became the best in boys. And yet she's a girl. So that was like another big highlight, which changed the trajectory and the whole understanding of chess in the country. And then that same year she went to Turkey to represent Uganda. That's when she became a candidate master, because she was able to, I think, get 4.5 points out of 7, which qualifies her to be candidate master. She became the first candidate master in the country.
Her background really shows that she was really a fighter.
Not
just a physical fighter,
she's very
but
aggressive.
also intellectually.
Exactly, And that's how even at school she was really like juggling many times, because I remember we could go to the World Olympiad Games, yet she has books to read for her exams. Sometimes she could we had a good collaboration with the school. She could even do exams special, because sometimes she's not at school.
She's playing the games. Now, beyond Phiona, I believe there are very many other children that you have impacted in different communities. Can you speak about the impact of this academy, the successes, then also the ripple effect?
The impact is really so huge. I know people think and talk about Phiona. I'll call her maybe the pathfinder. But we've had very talented young players coming up after her. Currently we have Patricia. She's, I think, number 2 in the country, highly rated. She's represented Uganda. Gloria, who actually ushered Phiona in the game, she also played, became a FIDE master.
I was actually looking out for her. Where did Gloria end up? Because she mentored Phiona.
Exactly. So she also represented Uganda in the Olympiads. We've had Benjamin, who went with Phiona in Sudan, first time, also becoming a national champion. In the juniors, we've had Musime Martin. We've had over 8 champions in the country from the program. And alongside all that, that is in the chess area, but academic-wise, they have all thrived. Because as I speak now, we can be able to boast of accountants, doctors, engineers.
And what's Phiona today? Take you a little bit back.
Phiona, she's right now in Canada, working as a business consultant with Deloitte.
Awesome.
So in 2017, Phiona and Benjamin, I got them a tuition scholarship to go to the US. And so when they got the tuition scholarship, I had to struggle. That's what gave rise to the Robert Katende initiative, by the way. It wasn't there before. So when I took them to the US, they got a tuition scholarship. I had to raise money for the boarding and meals and then air tickets, which I couldn't.
That's Phiona and
Benjamin. They had finished senior 6, both of them. And then Dr. Joe Carlsbury gave me a tuition scholarship to both of them when I couldn't raise the other man. I need to raise almost $30,000.
It's very expensive to study there.
So I figured with the opportunity and what they had been given per semester, each one of them was given almost worth $40,000. Now each of them I had to raise 15, and I was asking myself, where will I get this money? So I tried to research, how do you open up one? There was so many paperwork required. Then I got to a friend of mine called Carol Risse, who is actually one of the directors for the initiative. I remember we could always, whenever we came back from work, we could get to his kitchen. For Americans, the kitchen is more like the workspace. So we could get there, do a lot of work on them, and he gave me actually the first $500 that we used to register. We did all the work ourselves, which would have required an attorney. And then whether his wife was able, she was able to take the papers to the IRS. And all of a sudden, after 2 weeks, we got the 501c3 entity in the US. So then I started now the GoFundMe.
Oh, nice.
So that's how the Robert Katende initiative is born. And I used it for 4 years to raise all the resources to support Phiona and Benjamin in college.
Nice, awesome.
And they graduated in 2021. So Phiona was enrolled for the first year in Microsoft because they were in Seattle, in Northwest University. Then Benjamin, after that, I got him another scholarship. And he ended up in Duke University in North Carolina, where he did his master's. He's right now preparing for MCAT because he wants to be a neurosurgeon. So I hope to see him this May, when I get to the US. But that's the journey. Every child has his own journey. Those who are still back here, they also moved on to university, became engineers, became doctors, became accountants. So they are in different spaces.
Do you have some that working here?
Yes.
That's the ripple effect
we do.
for you. The ones you mentored and now I'm mentoring others.
We had close to 26 before COVID, but when COVID hit, I chose to, because the funding was cut, and they had actually done their university education and training, I told them to look for placements. So we currently have 12. And they are working here, but they have also got, I think we only have one who is still studying and finishing, I think, this year. Rusty, she's doing her degree. We have so many programs we've inspired to start because people have embraced the philosophy of using chess for social change. And even the World Chess Federation, actually they appointed me in 2012 as the General Secretary for Social Commission to sit at their board, simply to share the philosophy. That made me travel to almost all continents to share how chess can be such a transformational tool to communities. And we have programs now in Uganda, we have in Malawi, we have in Botswana, Kenya. There has been a lot of impact through this program, and hundreds, if not actually thousands, of learners have been impacted across the country and elsewhere. I have with me here 3 of those. You call them now the seniors. They are the ones actually in charge of the program. I'm rarely here. They are the ones who manage and run everything. I have here Derek, who is actually the administrator. And then I have Rusty. She does a lot of work. I call her my utility. She's a programmer. She's in finance. She actually managed to be the project manager for all this structure until it's completed. She was very nervous at the beginning, but she learned from the job and she made the work come to completion. Then we have Coach Wilson, who is also an engineer. By the way, even Derek is an engineer. We have a team now of 12 on full-time, or what we call the payroll, and then volunteers as well.
Rusty, what a huge profile, managing the construction of all this beautiful facility. Well done. How does it feel for you sitting in the same space with your former coach?
It feels good.
And how now you are mentoring other children within this same facility. What part of yourself do you see in these children you're mentoring? And what do you hope they will become?
The part of myself that I see in the children that I'm mentoring is the leadership, because the person who mentored us is the leader, and he gave us the wisdom or the knowledge that he gave us. We are giving it to the children, and I see them, they are also going to become leaders that are going to be able to manage and to solve problems in the world.
Well done, well done. Derek Senior. Do you see yourself as the next Coach Robert in this space?
Actually, not seeing myself as the next, but they actually calling me the coach.
He's the coach now.
How does it feel sitting next to your former mentor?
it's a pleasure. I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't often happens. And he's a busy man. So getting the time to sit together with him, it's not for granted. I appreciate it.
And how does it feel for you now mentoring other children in this academy?
I feel awesome because at first things weren't easy. We were a little bit nervous, and we lacked some skills, but our coach believing in us, we have been able to make it because we are traveling, teach different centers, people. So it's now awesome to us.
And how long have you been here?
Now coming to 13 years.
13 years senior. You're a real senior. Thank you so much, Coach Robert. Coach Derek, Senior Derek. Coach Robert,
Yes,
there's been a lot of impact. Starting from Katwe. You have centers in Kampala. How many are there?
Kampala, we have 7.
I was even thinking 5. That's
Yeah, we are
you're
in
having-
almost all slums now.
wow.
Yeah.
You have centers in Gulu.
Yep.
You're in Rwanda. You're in Malawi. And in all these spaces, you're still doing this game in the slums, right?
Slums and remote communities
remote
right now, yes.
And the mission is still to better their lives.
Yes, to
break
restore hope
through.
and transform lives. That's the core. Actually, there is something big coming this year. That is chess for agriculture.
Wow. I would like to be involved in that story.
Yes.
So, at this point, I would really want to ask what your take is on inclusion.
Yeah, chess is a universal sport, and it cuts across all barriers, be it gender, age, physicality. Actually, it's the only sport, what I call it, that provides a neutral ground where everyone can compete favorably. No matter the age, no matter the gender, no matter the race, no matter where you come from.
Yeah.
So it is, I think, the only sport in the world where even blind people can be able to compete in it. And you play against those who are able to see. Those who are physically challenged are able to play with those who are able-bodied. So almost 10 years back, I started a chess program for the disabled. Although I don't call it disabled, I call it differently abled.
Oh, yeah.
I decided to call it differently abled because I did not want to attach the stigma that comes with disability.
Yeah.
And I also realized that as much as I am able to move the chess pieces on the board using my hands, another one can use the feet.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have one player who uses the feet. We have one who uses the mouth and is able to move his pieces.
And
so we are doing the same thing but in different ways. That's why I decided to call it differently abled chess program. So this program started in 2015. 2 years later, I had the juniors represent Uganda in the US in the World Chess Olympiad for people with a disability.
Wow.
They went to Chicago, played, or that was actually Orlando, they played. Then the following year, 2018, they went to New Jersey. And 2019, actually, they were the silver medalist in that Olympiad. Actually, that last year, 2025, they were in Kazakhstan in the World Chess Olympiad for the disabled people.
That's the differently abled.
Differently abled chess program.
Boys or girls?
We have boys and girls. We have close to 35 players, but the top ones are 7 who are playing even in the top national chess league. I think it's the only league currently that is having a disabled team in Uganda and maybe in Africa. So we've represented Africa even in internationally.
Wow.
We've been the only team going to those Olympiads.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we really chose to bring chess to these learners, and it's remarkable to hear their stories because like Waswa is represented Uganda 3 times in the World Olympiad, actually 4 because last year he was there still. He told me, Coach, thank you for introducing us to chess. I had never thought in my entire life that I will ever be able to connect with my peers because they used to run. He's crippled, he cannot walk. We just carry him, put him in a wheelchair, and even when you put him in a wheelchair, he cannot push it himself. So he needs to be supported. Actually, when he goes to play, he works with an assistant because he cannot even lift the chess piece. But he just tells you what to play for him, and someone and someone makes the move. So that is remarkable to see such lives impacted. He's actually right now one of the instructors in the academy.
Wow.
Yeah. So because he's really gone through the ranks and he's up there, highly rated, and he can be able to pass on the knowledge to other even able-bodied children
so
and
he
players.
even teaches the able-bodied and also the...
He does.
At this point in the interview, Coach Robert takes us back to the slums of Katwe, where one small move started everything. We are standing right at the space where it all began, where he came with just a chessboard to transform lives of children in Katwe. Coach Robert, could you inspire somebody out there, somebody who thinks they need money, resources to transform lives? You only came with a chessboard in this space. Could you say something to somebody out there?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jackie. Actually, I want to say that never despise a humble beginning. It all starts with a vision, and then you can be able to move consistently towards that vision and mission. You look at the space, by the time I started here 20 years plus back, this building wasn't there, this was a dump pit. And when you look at the space right now, it has not actually changed. But when you look at the lives like Coach Wilson right now, who came to the program when he was around 7 years,
How old are you today?
and he's now 29 years, and his life is totally transformed. You can see the space in the background that is no longer here, but this is where it all began from 20 plus years back. And I brought the chessboard, put it on this ground, and they all came in here, and then we started to talk about life. And through this simple tool of chess, their hope was restored. They were set on a transformational life trajectory that they are now all graduates, simply because they chose to hang in there. So I encourage everyone, wherever you are, start from your neighborhood, start from where you are, use what you have. I had only one chessboard at the time. That's what I chose to begin with. And then I created a platform where I could speak into the lives of those who desperately needed to be encouraged. And now look at them, they are now transforming other lives.
Thank you so much, Coach Robert, for sharing your story.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming to also be our mouthpiece.
Coach Robert Katende's full story is one you simply have to read for yourself. In his book, A Night Without a Castle, he shares the details we couldn't get today. You can find it now on Amazon, and we have dropped the direct link for you in the description below. We want to hear from you. What part of this conversation resonated most? Drop a comment and let us know. If this story moved you, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe for more inspirational stories from around Uganda. Thank you for watching.